everyone, I am Janvi Pawar. Welcome back to my channel, or if you guys are new over here, then welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about the best and easiest way to learn in English. Now, I'm not going to give you just one way, I'm going to give you a whole plan. Like, this is where you start, this is what you do on the second day, this is what you do on the third day, this is what you do on the fourth day, and this is how you're supposed to learn English. Now, if you want to become fluent in a language, you need to do certain things and you need to stay consistent. So let's get started. Number one, planning. I think this goes without saying. Whenever you think you want to do something, it can be anything, you need planning. You need to plan everything out. You need to see how long you're gonna take. So first things first, you check your level. How can you check your level? Just by reading books and see how much you can understand. If you feel like you can understand 60% of it, so you are between intermediate and advanced level. If you think you can only understand like 40% of it, then you're between basic and intermediate. And if you think you cannot understand more than 20%, so you're at a basic level, and that's it. So first you check your level, then you start planning. Then you tell yourself is that this is how long it's going to take me to become fluent in a language with all of the resources that I have. So number one, when you start planning, then make sure to know your level. Number two, when you are planning, make sure to fix time, set a time, set a schedule. So you're gonna set a timetable that I'm gonna give 25 minutes to reading, 25 minutes to listening, then I'm gonna revise, then I'm gonna speak. So then plan that as well. Number three, when you're doing the planning, then make sure to tell yourself, this is how long it's gonna take me to become fluent in this language. So now fluency has a different definition for everyone, but basically it's all about understanding well and then speaking well. Like, you do not have to think in the back of your mind. So whatever you think that this works for me and this is how long it's gonna take me, you write that down. So this is part number one, which is planning. You do all three of these things. Number two, let's talk about resources. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys do not want to spend any money on any English course or any English application. But even if you have to, then I've already got some English courses. I've got a basic English course, an advanced English course, all on my website, which is janvipawar.com. You can find the link in the description box down below. Now, what I want to talk about in this resources. So number one, you need to figure out the kind of things that are around you, So resources, they should be surrounded with listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So obviously, number one, when we talk about listening, there needs to be a movie, a movie that you can find anywhere on your television, or if you have subscribed to any OTT platform, or even YouTube. So when we talk about this, you need to find a movie, you need to find a good movie. Do not dub it, do not do anything like this, but watch an English movie. Second resource, this is about reading. You need to have a book. Now, this book depends on your level. Like, if you're at a basic level, then go with a novel. If you're not at a basic level, then go with an advanced kind of novel, like children novel, advanced novel. So these things. And as for reading, one more thing you need, newspaper. Now, not only newspaper, like, it does not have to be a hard copy. You can just read news online. So that is your another resource. Now let's talk about writing. When we talk about writing, obviously you need a pen, you need a notebook, and that's it. So these are your resources. Number one, for listening, there needs to be a movie or a series, anything you find great. And at the same time, any interviews, any news, for your listening, or any podcast. Number two, when we talk about reading, obviously you need a book, a novel, or not just academic book, but novels. So all those sorts of books. And for your writing, you need a notebook and a pen. Now, what are you gonna do with writing? This is action number three, writing. When we talk about writing, so whatever you have listened, whatever you have read, now obviously you have come across some new words, new phrases and new sentence structures and new idioms. So all of those, you gotta write them down in your notebook. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna start using them in your notebook in different sentences. For example, you learn the word bifurcate. So now you know the meaning of bifurcate. Now you're gonna use this word in a different sentence by yourself. So this is what you're going to do with your writing. Now let's talk about the next part, which is the most important part, speaking. How can you speak? Now, obviously, all of us, we think, oh, we do not have anyone to speak with, to practice with. How are we supposed to do this? Let me tell you, there are 2 to 3 things that you can do for speaking. Number 1, start talking to yourself. How can you do this? Very easy. Whatever you have done throughout the day, whatever you have read, whatever you have listened, basically anything that you have come across, then start speaking in all of. Basically, I watched a movie today. It was pretty interesting, but it got boring. So describe anything. Start describing anything. Like if I'm sitting in a room, if you're sitting in a room, then start describing that room. This is what you have to do. This is how you talk to yourself. Number 2, for your speaking, what you can do, you can start imitating. You can start shadowing. What is imitating and shadowing? So if you're listening to an English speaker, if you're watching a movie, or basically like right now you're just listening to me, so you start mimicking that English speaker. So you've watched a movie, you have listened to about 6 dialogues, pause it right there, and then start mimicking, start copying anything that they have said. And this is shadowing. Number 3, think in English. This also comes under speaking. Why? Because in the back of our mind, there is another conversation going on. In the back of our mind, we're always thinking something, thoughts are running around here and there. So instead of those thoughts coming to your mind and popping up in your mind in Hindi or in your native language, how about you translate them to English? Now, the thing is, you're not supposed to directly translate them. You're just gonna start thinking in English. Like it does not have to be like, okay, so in my language, we say, watashi wa janbi desu. So in English, we're gonna say watashi, watashi no namae wa, okay, my name is not like this, okay, mera naam, okay, so my name, not like this, but it should directly come to English. This is how you practice. So all of those idioms, phrases, words that you have learned while you read and listened, so all of those, you start revolving them in the back of your mind, and this is how you practice. And so this is how you immerse yourself in English. So I've given you a whole plan, your resources, your reading resources, your listening resources, and how you're supposed to speak, how you're supposed to practice. And these are some ways. Now, obviously, if you're still looking for that English course, then the link for that course is in the description box down below. And I hope you guys stay well. I hope you guys stay safe. And as for me, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Until the next video, bye everyone, stay safe.